Hey there, Crystal Thompson here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have video number 2 using the amazing Says Stamp September card kit using the Just Miss You. So for this, we're going to be doing 3 rainbow cards and we're going to be using the Sending Smiles die and background shadow. You're going to be using the Distress Oxides or just distress, whatever you prefer, or if you just have normal inks, you can do that as well. So we're gonna do, I have my cardstock ready to go, 4¼ 5½, and I have this Heavy tape, which is like post-it tape. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna mask at the bottom of the card. It's gonna give it a very nice and clean look. The purpose of this video today was to extend the usage of your Simon Says card kit. So we did 4 cards earlier, and if you missed that video, hop on when you were done with this one and go check out that other video so you get your Simon kit. There's so much inspiration for you. Once we place that memo Heavy tape or post-it tape, I'm going to bring in my Distress Oxides in Wilted Violet, and I'm going to speed up the video. But essentially, we're going to create a beautiful rainbow background. I'm going to do 2 circles. We're going to move on to the next thing, and I actually don't put your inks away because we will be repeating the process of the ink over and over just to get that beautiful blending. And I'm trying to keep the head of the blender to be my size gauge when I am blending the circles. So as you can see, I'm kind of just going in a rainbow order, staggering those colors together. And if you find that one color, such as like that green, that Shabby Shutters I just used, didn't quite look green, right? Kind of look kind of yellow, then you can bring in a different color, and don't be afraid to layer color on top to get that beautiful look. If you find that it's too circular, you can go ahead and further blend. I really like the look of this, so I'm going to come in with my Altenew Pure White Spray, going to remove that backer and just splatter it. It's going to give it such a different look, and you won't really see any mistakes or overblending or underblending that you might have done. Then I'm going to bring in some water, and then same concept, we're going to remove the backer and flicker that water onto the card. It's going to give it those big water droplets, and it's not going to be as predominantly as that white, so it gives you a ton of dimension with the white and the clear. We're going to remove the Heavy tape so you can see our awesome masking, and then we can move on to putting the card together. So let me show you this. I'm really happy the way this turned out. I would let it dry for a couple minutes. You can speed up the drying process if you like using your heat embossing gun. I'm going to bring in the Sending Smiles die. And this has been die cut out of just white cardstock. We're going to place some Tombow adhesive on the back, and then we're going to place it right on the center. Okay, we're going to finish this up, and so you can do some liquid adhesive on this or do the tape runner, and I really just like the tape runner because it keeps it nice and flat. And if you're afraid that it's going to stick to your envelope, you can go grab your mono sand eraser and kind of do the erasing in the interior of the Sending Smiles to remove that little sticky part, but it really is just fine. Then I have the bottom part of the stamp. So this sentiment is from the 6x8 Just Miss You stamp set included in the kit. I have stamped it on black cardstock with white heat embossing, and then I trimmed it and added a little bit of foam adhesive right on the back. And now you have Sending Smiles, Wish You Lived Closer. I really love this DIY background, and I hope you do too. So we're going to hop on to our next card. Of course, it is rainbow inspired. So this one has a ton of techniques, but really it is super easy. We're going to be using one of the stamps for the sentiment. We're going to be using a stencil. So let me show you what we're going to do. So the same Distress Oxides that we just used, don't put them away. We're going to begin creating a really cool border. So I'm going to do 3 colors of that peacock feathers. We're going to grab the peeled paint and follow along onto that green. You can do it rainbow order if you prefer. I'm not going to do it rainbow order. I'm just kind of adding some color and trying to keep this. So I haven't seen this been done just yet, but of course I probably don't watch too many tutorial videos. And I love the way this turned out, and I didn't test it before I filmed it. So I love the way this turned out. So I'm going to grab my orange, and I'm going to grab that orange next to the green. And then I'm going to grab the candied apple. And we're going to finish up with this candied apple. I felt like this one needed a little more blending. We're going to add some water droplets on it just to give it a little bit of dimension. And you can do this with any water-based ink. You don't necessarily need to use Distress Oxides. We're going to finish this up. just flicker the water. You can even spritz it if you wanted to get a different look. But I really like this. I felt like this would be a really cool invitation. And it gives you that area to put in your information or whatnot. Once that is dry, I'm going to bring in a piece of cardstock, and this is just white cardstock. It's 1/4 of an inch smaller, so we got 4 1/4, 5 1/2 for that main base that we just did the ink blending. So then this inner part is 4 by 5 1/4. Be sure that you clean your surface, if not you're going to end up with a little inky cardstock, but I left it just fine because we're going to bring in our stencil. So this stencil is from Says Stamp. It's a previous release, and I'm going to bring in those brushes. So let me tell you, I'm not adding any more ink to the brushes. They already have the color on them, and all I'm going to do is brush them along over the stencil. Secure your stencil to your surface and not to your cardstock to avoid any of your cardstock tearing up and then really kind of messing up your beautiful card. So this is a great way to, one, clean out your brushes by removing the excess ink, and two, making it super fast and super quick without having to get your ink products out again. So I like this beautiful stencil that we got going on. It matches the colors that we did ink blending on. We're going to grab the I Miss You from the 6x8 Just Miss You stamp set, and I'm going to ink that up with the Intense Black, also from Says Stamp. Holding it down just for a couple seconds to let that cardstock absorb the ink, and you have a very nice and very clean image. For my embellishment, I'm going to grab this awesome leaf die, also a Says product, and I'm going to use the Tombow roller to place it over the stenciling, and it's just going to give it one more layer. And I have die cut this out of vellum, so don't be afraid to mix and match your paper products such as vellum. I ended up tearing it when I did my adhesive, so I decided that I was just going to use that third part now and twist it and just turn it clockwise and give this a look that kind of a C, and it's following around that sentiment. Really loving this look. Last but not least, we are going to add, make sure we're going to add some more glue to make sure that the vellum sticks, and let that dry before you go popping it on your envelope. So just making sure that vellum is sticking down. You can even use your flat adhesive, but that's what we got. We're not going to add any further embellishment as I am quite happy with this look. All right, for our next card, I think you're going to love this. We are using the awesome Sending Smiles dies, but we are stamping in a rainbow theme. So for starters, we have this awesome background stamp, also from Says Stamp, just from a previous release. And so go grab any of your background stamps, grab those same distress oxides that we've been using throughout this video, and just go on a random pattern. You don't have to go rainbow order. Essentially, I wanted to create a set of cards that were using pretty much the same products, and in this case, it's the Says Stamp Card Kit of the Month, September 2020, and Distress Oxides. All right, so we're gonna grab that, and as you can see, when you're using large stamps such as these, you do not need an acrylic block. I have my cardstock 4 1/4, 5 1/2, ready to go. I'm gonna just stamp this down. And I left that acetate on that stamp set, so I'm going to go grab a paper towel or a baby wipe, whatever it is that you use in your craft room to clean up your stamps, and I'm just going to give it a little massage. We're going to rub it down onto that cardstock, and it's going to create a really cool image. If you're uncomfortable about doing this or worried about it moving and shifting on you, grab your Misty and use the same stamp set on the Misty, and that way you get a clean look. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with this. Look what a clean, crisp image we got, and the colors blended up really nicely. Now I have the Sending Smiles shadow die cut from white cardstock. We're going to grab the Sending Smiles stamp set. Again, using those Distress Oxides, we are going to stamp the stamp onto the ink and getting those different colors on different areas of the stamp set. And it's going to look kind of rainbowy. And don't worry about the ink on your distress blocks or distress inks. You can go just grab a baby wipe, but they're going to sit right on top, and you can clean that off so you don't get too much color blending. I'm going to press this down. I'm letting it soak up, letting that cardstock grab that ink, and that way you have a really nice and clean image. I'm going to grab it from the bottom, and there you have it. How cool is this? I really love the look, and it's going to match really nicely. we're going to grab my foam adhesive, and if you saw my last tutorial on how I bent this, you have a large piece of foam adhesive, removed both backers, folded in half, and now you have a double layer of foam. Hope that you go watch the other video if you're wondering what I'm talking about. And we are going to do our sentiment that goes in accordance to this. So I have a piece of pink cardstock. I believe this is bubblegum, also from Simon. And then we're going to stamp one of the sentiments from the 6x8 clear stamp set, Just Miss You. And it talks about, here's something to hold since I can't hold your hand. So this would be a great card to send a girlfriend, you know, a family member, some little token appreciation that you're thinking of about them. We're going to bring in that paper trimmer, and we're going to cut a nice little ribbon. And this is going to be turned into a ribbon with a slanted edge, so you can do it two ways. You could slant that you can cut that edge into a slant before you place it down, or you can do it afterwards. I'm going to use flat adhesive for this instead of foam, just because I really want that Sending Smiles to be the main focus of the card. And then my cardstock ended up being a little long than I thought. So I love doing these fixes on cards on video, so you can see that I'm a real card maker, and I could edit it out, but I'm not going to. I can just show you how I'm going to fix this. So I'm going to go grab my scissors, and I'm going to, create that slant on the ribbon, and I'm going to lift it up. And that mono adhesive isn't super sticky right away, so I'm able to do these little edits. And then I'm going to do the edge, using the edge of the cardstock to create that edge, and now you have a matching and ready to go. Last but not least, we are going to embellish using the Says Stamp exclusive Smile Sequin Mix, also included in the kit. I'm going to grab that mono liquid adhesive, and then I'm going to use my Marvy Jewel Picker, also included in the kit. So I kind of struggled getting that to stick. It has two sides. So I'm like, you know what? I am grabbing the big guns, turning this over, grabbing the big sticky guy, and placing this down. And I find that my clear glue, I need to let it sit for just a couple seconds so it gets really sticky. If not, it's just really watery. And guys, we are ready to roll. The last card is done. And that does it for me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. We're using 6 inks to create these rainbow patterns using the Says Stamp card kit of the month, September 2020. All products are linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment below. If you have questions, leave them below, and I will try to answer them to you as soon as I can. If you're new here, please give this a like, a comment, and a subscribe. And if you are here and a continued watcher, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my tutorials, guys. That does it. Have an amazing day. See you later.